People thought I was crazy to start this thing up because it's like you don't have industrial experience doing this. It's like, yes, I do. I just built a mushroom farm sterilization system and worked in the pharmaceutical industry where we had huge pieces of equipment. I am James Walton. I started Storm Brewing in 1994. When I was a kid, I made cheese at home, and I read in encyclopedia like one page of what beer was, how they sprout the barley and bake it off, and all the things that you do. So I went and grabbed a gallon of barley from my mom's horses and sprouted them over a few days and baked them in the oven. I made the most acrid, horrible tasting stuff that I've ever made. It was just awful. Way over roasted it or something. I was like, bleh. But that was my beginning. And then after that, I got better. When I went to UBC, I wasn't thinking of starting a brewery. I was still, I wanted to do something important like engineering or something like that. And it ended up falling into mushroom farming, which is still, my degree ended up being in mycology, so yeast, mold, slime, and mushrooms are all part of that. After I got out of university, I started a mushroom farm, and it was very hands-on. We'd be picking mushrooms at midnight and, driving them and delivering them and stuff like that. And then when I moved over. Farming is, you don't make any money and the hours are horrible. So eventually I moved over into the pharmaceutical industry, but I always liked to be hands-on, transferring things and filling tanks and things like that. It's funny because those tanks that I was using for making IV fluids were the exact same thing that I have here. It's like, kind of made me think. Like, I thought many times, it's like, look, we got this huge tank of sugar. If I just put some yeast in it, maybe at Christmas holidays, I could run this still and I'd have whatever 1,000 liters of whiskey. I didn't do that. That would have been fun though. My wife at the time, she suggested, why don't you start a brewery? You're always home brewing. I was like, yeah, good idea. I could do that. So I kind of just dove into it. And I didn't do any marketing study or anything like that. I just looked around for equipment and a place to set it up. Just like fire straight in. All my friends thought I was crazy because I was being bold, but I mean, that's how you succeed. I was looking for tanks in the scrapyards and I found some. One day I found like the mash tun and the kettle and some of the rollers for the mill, all in the same scrapyard on the same day in New West. So I rented a guy to come out with a high-ab, put it on a truck, took it to my house. I used to live on Lakewood Avenue there, and just put it in front of my garage for a few months until I found this building. I'm a foodie person, so generally anything that tastes good as a dessert or a cocktail, or, it's not just me. I mean, all my employees, it's called brainstorms because we all think of these things together and, hey, how about this idea? So it's kind of fun, something we do together every week. Well, I was out of town and my employees decided to make a garlic and roasted pepper stout. It was hideous. I didn't like it. It was gross. Yeah, I think my best beer that I've ever made was the Black Plague Stout. It started out as a completely different beer. It was just supposed to be a competitor to Guinness, but you can't compete with Guinness. They have it's an international, like transnational corporation, and nobody orders another beer because it's like Guinness. They'll just order Guinness, so you can't compete with it. So I gave up on that idea. I made this beer really strong, and during the Black Plague years, people always associate with rats. So during that era, it's not really accurate, but people were getting cholera. The people that drank beer would live, and the people that drank the water would die. So it was kind of on that riff on that thing to say, yes, this is the Black Plague. to scare people a little bit that it's a dark beer, because they're already scared of it. And it generated lots of interest. Hence, you see all the rats we have everywhere here. I had this friend, John, who was bullshitter, like talk. And he went out and got me 25 accounts in a matter of a couple of months. And he told me stories that made me want to drink the beer too. It was awesome. After that, then I didn't really have salespeople per se. My mom was my salesperson for a while. She didn't close many deals though. Old guys that were flirting with her. I remember when I used to deliver beer for people's parties and quite often weddings. And so I know I've delivered beer to their house for their wedding if they're having a backyard wedding. And then 19 years later, their kid comes in and says, you were there and you provided the beer for our weddings. And now I'm old enough to drink. So in about 2009, I think, these local artists that I knew put up made our graffiti wall. And it's got, rats on it and barrels of beer and stuff. So it looked really cool, and it was a really nice addition to the brewery. 9 years later, somebody from the city of Vancouver said, that mural is not approved. You'll have to take it down. It's promoting drunk rats. I don't know. It was very obscure. And so we put on Facebook that, oh, well, say goodbye to the mural. City says it has to get painted over. And then the internet went crazy and they went on attack mode. We were out in front of it with BCTV and Global and CTV, and they were all interviewing us. So yeah, that all happened, and the city council voted immediately to leave it where it was. So it was kind of funny. Probably needed to be painted over anyway. My plan for the brewery was really to make myself have a job, really, that I loved. And I know if I grew it too big, I wouldn't like it anymore. And I really don't like sitting in an office. And I'd rather be walking around on the floor with a beer in my hand. I just like the continuity. It's kind of like more of a European mindset as opposed to the American mindset where you're just grow or perish. There's no in between. So I just like to keep a nice steady hum going to it. Yeah, when I started in 1994, there was a few decent beers, Shaft Brewery being one of them. They kind of had English-style ales, and they were real ales. But everybody else was making lagers, even Okanagan Spring Ale was actually a lager, so it didn't taste like an ale. Like ales have a nice fruity, delicious flavor, and there just wasn't that many of them. There were a few little ones around, like Horseshoe Bay and stuff like that. And I thought when I started, oh, I'm coming into this so late. There's already 3 breweries. And then now I'm the last one that's still here. Everybody else is, sold or quit or given up. Yeah, I'd like to keep it a bit on the down low. I don't really know why. It's my fault probably for not wanting to get too much attention on myself and stuff like that. So we keep it pretty cool and, small. I could probably use more money if I'm ever going to retire, but that's later. I don't intend on retiring. Bury me in the back of one of those kettles.